Spartans. Hello, everyone. Charlie Neal along with my partner, Cy Alexander, and we welcome you to Norfolk, Virginia. These two teams side met once during the regular season. That was down in Orangeburg. It was Norfolk State coming out with a 5-point victory. Can they do it again and continue to roll through the tournament, or can South Carolina State play the role of the upset team?
I tell you what, South Carolina State got off to a quick start last night against the University of Maryland Eastern Shore Hawks. What they did was they shot the three ball exceptionally well, and they've got to do that again tonight. Also, they've got to get to the free throw line. They're leading the conference in free throw shooting, got to the line 26 times, made 20.
When you look at keys to the game, let's start with the Bulldogs. What is it going to take for them to play the role of the upsetter?
I tell you what, again, they need to get to the free throw line, and they need to also make their threes, keep Norfolk off the line.
On the other side, when you talk about the Spartans, they want to continue to roll for this tournament. They're playing in front of the hometown crowd. What is it going to take for them?
They are leading the conference in three-point shooting. They share the basketball. Other thing they need to do tonight is play without fouling. They need to be a sound defensive team to keep SC State from the free throw line.
Let's look at a couple of key players. Damani Applewhite for South Carolina State had a big game against Maryland Eastern Shore in the first round. 10 points, 12 rebounds.
He is very steady from 15 feet and in. A lefty, shoots some high-arcing rainbow shots.
On the other side for Norfolk State, second team all-conference selection, Nick Thomas leads the team in scoring.
He has really come into his own this year, kind of taken over the leadership of the team. He and Stephen Whitley look for Nick to have a big game tonight.
And it should be a good one. Like I said, the second time these two teams have met this season. The winner goes on to the semifinals on Friday here in Norfolk. Back with the opening tip from the scope in just a moment.
Win at life, because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Back at the scope in Norfolk, Virginia. We prepare to tip off the first game of our evening doubleheader at South Carolina State, coming in with an overall record of 8-25, 6-11, counting the win last night against Maryland Eastern Shore. They came out with a victory of 63-54, led by 16 at the half, 38-22, and they were going against the Spartans of Norfolk State, looking for their 20th win of the season. They come in 19-12, 14-2. They got a bye because they're the top seed.
I tell you what, Norfolk State has got to do the job defensively, keeping SC State off the line. They went to the free throw line last night 26 times, made 20, lead the league in free throw shooting at around a little over 70%.
So it's been very important for them to do that. Of course, South Carolina State started the season 1-8, started the conference season 2-1, then lost 5 straight. They did finish the season strong, though, 3-3. Norfolk State ended the season, believe it or not, on a losing note, and they lost it to Howard University as J.R. Cole hit the big basket for Howard University to give them a 98-95 win.
Right, and SC State has been in a lot of games all year. Charlie, I talked to the head coach prior to the game, and they lost like 12 games by 4 points or less.
It'll be South Carolina State in the dark uniforms controlling the opening tip.
Starting in a little horn set.
Rainer Powell with the ball. Mixes it out to Applewhite. The left-handed jumper goes in and out. And the offensive rebound by Kennard.
Good offensive board that time.
And there's a block, but out of bounds. Good block by Jordan Butler, redshirt senior out of Hartford, Connecticut.
I always told my players, Charlie, if you got a three-point shot block, that was a bad shot. Great athleticism that time shown by Mr. Jordan Butler. He went up and blocked that shot on the perimeter without fouling.
He certainly did. Rainer Powell tried to get it down low, looking for Applewhite. And there's a turnover for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State.
Bulldogs opening up into the full court man. Look like they're trapping their first pass.
They never trailed in their game against Maryland Eastern Shore yesterday. Although Maryland Eastern Shore came to within 2 with 2:15 left to go. They shot, that is South Carolina State, 42% from the field in that first round contest as Butler has the ball in his hands.
South Carolina State playing some aggressive man-to-man.
Long, Alex Long, the senior. Shot no good. Here come the Bulldogs. Just underway here at the Scope in Norfolk. Harewood off the glass. Good.
Nice running one-handed that time by LeVar Harwood. And he's known, Charlie, for his three-point shooting.
Junior out of Brooklyn, New York, redshirt junior. Started 15 games for Coach Marbury Garvin during the regular season. His South Carolina State team lost 11 conference games, but 6 of those losses were by a total of 20 points. So they win those contests as the shot clock is at 5. The 3-ball doesn't fall for Pitt. Mustadi Pitt.
And again, the Bulldogs trying to get off to a quick start.
Back outside. Here's the shot by Hatchett. Blocked. So we've had 2 blocks. Here's Mustadi Pitt on the run. Puts it off the glass for 2.
Nice strong layup that time by Pitt.
He's a sophomore out of Hampton, Virginia. Came in averaging 9.3 points per contest. Also 2.7 assists. Applewhite down low in the paint. Turn around off the glass. No good. Defensive rebound by Jamerson. And a foul is going to be whistled in the front court. And that's going to go against Janie Rayner Powell. Today, Rayner Powell, senior out of Virginia Beach.
And that was one of those fouls that, as a coach, you like. Why? Because it's out in the middle of the court. You just kind of useless foul.
Mustadi Pitt. That's short. Nick Thomas. He's one of those three-point guys that can shoot you in a game, but he can shoot you out of a game. Down the lane goes Harewood. Off the glass, no good. And a foul. They're going to call a player control foul.
Great
on Pitt.
Right. Great defensive foot movement that time by Rayner Powell.
So Mustadi Pitt picks up the player control foul. That brought all the coaches off of Norfolk State's bench.
They didn't like that one, I don't think.
And a turnover by the Bulldogs. This is Nick Thomas. Nick Thomas working against Applewhite. Applewhite with the rebound of the missed shot. He had a big height advantage there, didn't he? And a block at the other end.
It's about
Here comes the
4 blocks.
Spartans. Nick Thomas off the glass. That looked like it might have been touched.
They might have gotten away with a defensive goaltender that time.
It's been fast and furious. We have a 2-2 ball game. Played almost 4 minutes of this first half. Whistle away from the ball. That foul was called on Jordan Butler, his first, team second.
Spartans have switched up now to a 2-3 zone.
And more motion offense by South Carolina State now. 7 on the shot clock. And over the top, the foul is going to be whistled against Long. Alex Long, senior out of Clinton, Maryland. And that's the 3rd team foul early on here against the Spartans.
One of the keys we talked about is keeping South Carolina State off the free throw line.
Ian Kennard working the left side, back around. Shot clock at 10. Baseline, back outside, long jumper, good, the three for Harewood.
Nice ball movement that time. Took the offense from strong side to weak side. Nice shot preparation by LeVar Harwood.
He only had 2 points, 3 rebounds on the steal against Maryland Eastern Shore in their opening round game. He was 0 for 3 from three-point range, but he wasn't that time. At the other end, the long jumper by Jamerson doesn't fall. He's another three-point streak shooter. But the follow-up on the miss by Alex Long.
It's always good when you're a shooter, Charlie, and you see that first one go in from long distance. You feel like you're going to have a good night.
Alex Long with his first 2 points of the game. He came in averaging 9 points per contest. There's a timeout on the floor. 15-11. 15-11, I should say, is the time remaining in the first half. And we have a 5-4 ball game. And it's South Carolina State by 1.
But life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
South Carolina State with the 1 point advantage, but they've been hard pressed because of a guy named Jordan Butler, who has 3 blocks already in this contest. He had a season high 7. That was back in 2016. And he has 3 here. And he leads the conference this year in block shots, averaging 1.9 blocks per contest.
And I tell you what, two of the 3 have been on the perimeter on 3-point jump shots.
Yes,
without fouling.
Yeah, 53 blocks coming in to this contest for Jordan Butler, redshirt senior from Hartford, Connecticut. Harewood, Etienne on the wing, gets it down low. Azante Fields in the lineup right now. Turn around off the back of the iron, won't fall. Almost lost by Norfolk State. They had trouble controlling that one, even though it was all white jerseys around the ball. Pitt. Hand check in the back. And this was going against Azante Fields, the junior out of Denmark, South Carolina.
And that's almost automatic on post defense for you youngsters out there. If you put 2 hands in the back, they're going to call it 99% of the time, even if it's minor.
The turnaround by Long is good.
Nice jump hook that time. Nice comfort level in the post. Nice follow through. 1
point lead for the Spartans. Rashawn Neal in the lineup also had a pretty steady performance last night against Maryland Eastern Shore. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, but he also turned the ball over 7 times.
I tell you what, that was great defense that last time by Butler.
And there's a 3 ball that time by Nick Thomas.
And that's what they do. They shoot the 3.
Nick Thomas, his first field goal, he was 0 for 4 before that one fell. Now he's 1 for 5.
Nice recovery that time by the Bulldogs.
2-point ball game from outside. Butler, yes.
The bank is open. He's got to call it, though, next time.
And how much you want to withdraw, right? Neal dishes it off in the corner to Harewood for 3.
Harewood is off to a great start. He's got 8 points already. Keeping the Bulldogs right in this game.
3 of 5 from 3-point range for Harewood. Turnaround, that's good. And that's Derek Jamerson.
Jamerson has been playing really well. Another block.
Block party. Block city. 3 ball for Nick Thomas.
Tell you what, Nick Thomas looked like Steph Curry that last time. Pulled up deep on the 3 in transition and shot it with a lot of confidence.
That looks like it's going to be against Alex Long, that foul. If it is, that'd be his second.
And that's a big foul. He's got to sit probably the next 8 minutes.
Timeout on the floor. Oh, no, there isn't a timeout on the floor. That is Nick Thomas's second foul. Not Thomas, correction, Alex Long's second foul. He's fouled out of 5 games so far this year. Pull-up jumper, no good. That'll be Spartans ball.
Defensively, the Spartans are challenging every shot that the Bulldogs are taking.
Stephen Whitley inbounding the ball. And it's Mustadi Pitt, the sophomore out of Hampton, running the offense. Jamerson in the lineup, Thomas in the lineup. Also, Stephen Whitley in there now, along with Jordan Butler. Nick Thomas dishes off to Pitt. Pitt being guarded by Rainer Powell. Pulls up for the jumper in the lane, and it falls.
Shooter's touch that time by Mustadi Pitt. Nice little soft touch. Hit every part of the rim and fell in.
Kennard. Rainer Powell. Neal. Neal with the lefty. Air ball. Missed it all. Timeout on the floor. 11:36 to go. First half. Slow start for the Spartans, but they have an 8-point lead right now with 11:36 remaining in the half. You're watching.
South Carolina State University. Are you next?
Back here at the scope of Norfolk, 18-10 our score. And it's Norfolk State. They've been on a tear lately. They are 7 of their last 8 shots have been pretty good, while on the other side, South Carolina State, 1 of their last 4, and they trail right now by 8 points.
And give the Spartans a lot of credit. They're really getting after it on the defensive end. The one negative right now in the game plan for the Spartans is they have 5 team fouls, which could be critical as you move forward in the first half. The pressure shown by the Bulldogs. The Spartans handled it with ease.
Chris Ford has checked into the lineup for Coach Robert Jones, the coach of the year in the conference. And we're going to get an offensive foul and going to be, I believe, a moving pick.
And that's 6 now.
Illegal block against Norfolk State. It was against the young man who just checked in, the freshman out of Chesterfield, Virginia, Chris Ford. He's only averaging about 7 minutes per contest, and he picked up a foul that time.
You've got to be stationary, and I've talked about this all year in our broadcast, that officials, that's one of the key points of emphasis this year. It's being stationary on your screens.
And you shouldn't be any more than the shoulder length width apart with your feet.
Right.
And now we're going to get.
And see, now they're in the 1-and-1. And that's huge right there for the conference leading free throw shooting team with 11:01 to go in the first half. SC State will be shooting free throws the remainder of the half and potentially could be in the double bonus by the 8-minute mark.
No question. And at the free throw line is Ian Kennard. 5 points, 4 rebounds, and assists. He was 1 of 3 at the free throw line against Maryland Eastern Shore last night. Makes that one good.
That one looked real good. And
he's a 77% free throw shooter for the season.
Great team free throw percentage. And the Bulldogs on the flip side have only 2 team fouls.
So both free throws made by Kennard. Pressure in the backcourt by South Carolina State, but it is handled. Amari Branch in the lineup now, a redshirt senior out of Hampton High, or Hampton, Virginia, and Genesis Academy. Also attended VMI before matriculating to Norfolk, and the shot clock down to 8 seconds. A lot of contact down there, no whistle, and it was out of bounds.
And I'm sure Coach Rob Jones is saying, come on, Mr. Officials. Let's even this thing up. But there was some contact in there that time, but I guess the officials did not feel like it had
any advantage or disadvantage to anybody.
Let it go.
Our officiating crew is Harold Harris, Keith Bennett, and Matt Lee.
A good crew. And this is one of the things I talked about in our keys. Attack the basket, and that's what SC State is doing. You might have to see the Spartans go to a some type of zone or soft man-to-man, because the game plan for the Bulldogs was to attack the basket, get to the free throw line. So far, Ian Canaan is doing that.
And he's at the line perfect tonight so far. 2 attempts, 2 for 2. 3 for 3.
And that's a big advantage right now, 8-2.
Norfolk State has controlled the boards. They have a 7 rebound advantage. 13-6, and both free throws are made, and it's a 4-point ball game. And this foul is in the backcourt.
Bulldogs are trapping that first pass and then rotating to see if they can pick up that weak side steal. You've got to be strong with the ball if you're the Spartans, and you've got to cut hard, make hard cuts, and have your hand ready.
Like that was done by C.J. Kelly. Kelly in the lineup now. Redshirt freshman from Long Island, New York. They lose about 4 seniors from this squad, this Norfolk State's team this year. And we're going to get a foul inside. That's going to be whistled. Looks like it gets Ian Kennard. But we talk about the seniors on this squad. You look at Jordan Butler is a senior. Jamerson is a senior. Long is a senior. So all of those people, along with Amari Branch, will be going away from the Spartan team. So, of course, guys like Long, they've been here through the whole career, and they'd like to go out on top as a Mustadi Pitt, the sophomore out of Hampton High in Hampton, Virginia, hits the big basket.
I know they would love to go out with the NCAA tournament appearance. What they know for sure is they'll be in the NIT. That's what winning the regular season gets you automatically, an automatic bid to the National Invitational Tournament, better known as the NIT. But what the Spartans really want is a berth in the NCAA tournament.
They won the MEAC tournament back in 2012. They had to play Bethune-Cookman, and they beat them for the title. As the pressure is broken, here's Nick Thomas from the corner. That one no fall for Amari Branch. 9:20 the time remaining in the first half. Bounce passes inside. From way outside, the 3-ball does fall. And it was Jamari Etienne. 10 points last night against Maryland Eastern Shore.
And the key to South Carolina State having the possibility to win this game is Etienne, Harwood, and Raina Powell shooting that 3-point shot.
From the other way, here's a 3-ball. You can't match him, Nick Thomas. Nick Thomas picks up 3 more points.
Nick Thomas had an answer for Etienne.
And here's a steal. Nice move by Pitt.
The trap caused Etienne some problems that time. Nice rotation. Mustadi Pitt, steal, layup.
Nick Thomas with 9 points so far in the game. Here's a pass along the baseline, back outside, taken away. Big hands and quick hands by Nick Thomas. Nick Thomas still with the ball in his hands, and he loses it out of bounds. He even says that was on me. I should have slowed things up.
Exactly.
You know, he realized the mistake he made He looked over at the coach.
He started pointing at his chest.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything,
Yeah,
Coach.
right, because I don't want to come out.
Right, that's my fault. Trust me, I know who's in charge.
So Pitt goes to the sideline.
He's out anyway.
Mustadi Pitt will take a seat on the bench right now. Joe Bryant Jr., freshman out of Lake Taylor High here in Norfolk, comes in. He's only averaged about 8 minutes a game for the Spartans this year, but he's in the lineup right now for Coach Robert Jones. Coach Jones in his 6th year, 11th overall, has 106 wins at Norfolk State. And there's a 3-ball that time by Rainer Powell.
Again, you've got the 3 shooters, Rainer Powell, Etienne, and Harwood, all making jump shots from the deep.
3 years ago, Coach was the Coach of the Year in the conference. That one's too long. Etienne with the rebound, pushing it ahead. The 3-ball. The shot is good by Harewood. Tied up.
That's what that 3-ball can do for you, Charlie. It can get you right back in the game, or it can get you out of the game.
Correction, that's 25-23. And now an opportunity to tie it or take the lead. Rainer Powell working against Kelly. Almost knocked away. Rainer Powell is fouled as he goes up. It looks like Butler may pick that one up. Jordan Butler. And it is against Jordan Butler. And for Butler, that is his 2nd personal foul. Timeout on the floor. 6:41. That's the time remaining here. We're in the first half of the MEAC basketball tournament. First game of the doubleheader this evening. Back with more from the Scope in just a moment. .641 remaining first half, along with Cy Alexander, Charlie Neal at the Scope in Norfolk. You're watching MEAC basketball. It's the 2019 tournament right here on Flow Sports. Glad you can tune in and join us. We talked about Coach Robert Jones in his 11th year overall as a coach, 6th year as the head coach here in Norfolk with a complete 106 wins. Quite an impressive resume for Coach Robert Jones, who took over. He was an interim coach for a while and then became the head coach after Evans resigned.
Yes, he's done an excellent job. And looking at the stat line, Charlie, you got a unique stat here. The Bulldogs are shooting 39% from the field, but 63% from the 3-point line. That's why they've made a nice comeback, about to tie the game up if Rainer Powell can hit the 2nd free throw.
And he does. And we're all tied at 25 with 6:41 to go. This Norfolk State team under Jones in 2012 went to the NCAA tournament and up as the number 15 seed, and upset the number 2 seed Missouri in that tournament. You remember that with Tyler Quinn, I believe, was part of that team, who's going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. Remember the Indiana Pacers?
They say he contributes quite a bit to the Norfolk State men's basketball program.
The long 3 goes in and out for Mustadi Pitt. Pitt shooting about 34% from behind the arc. That one just didn't fall as we go down to the 6-minute mark. Rainer Powell's shot is too long. Jamerson with the ball in his hands. Up the floor, wide open, and it's good. Keontae Chavis.
He ran the floor that time and got an easy bucket. He was rewarded for his effort in transition.
Chavis, redshirt sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia. So just about everybody has played on off the bench for Coach Robert Jones. Long three, and that's good by Etienne.
They are shooting the lights out. How does the firecracker on the Bulldogs?
28-27, rather, is the lead by South Carolina State. 1 point game. Here's a three ball that won't fall that time for Nick Thomas. He's hit a couple of threes in the game so far. He's 3 of 5 from 3-point range. Make that 3 of 6 after that last one. Etienne. 3-second violation. So that's a turnover for South Carolina State.
And again, right now, the key to this ball game is the three-point shooting of the Bulldogs. Shooting right at 60%.
That's the 5th turnover of the ball game for South Carolina State. Came in averaging about 14.5 turnovers a contest. When they were playing against Maryland Eastern Shore in the first round game, they never trailed in that contest. Although Maryland Eastern Shore came to within 2. Jumper, Rainer Powell, Etienne rather, and it falls.
Etienne, Harwood, Rainer Powell, the 3 perimeter go-to guys are getting it done.
Jamari Etienne, 10 points last night. Calling a blocking foul. Coach Garvin
didn't like that call.
He didn't like it at all, to say the least. And the foul is going to be whistled against Rainer Powell. Timeout on the floor with 3:58 to go. We're in the first half here. And it's quarterfinal action of the MEAC basketball tournament. 3-point game between South Carolina State and Norfolk State.
There will always be Marines.
(30-27) to score here as Orangeburg, South Carolina has to feel good about what's happening with these Bulldogs of South Carolina State. They lead it 30-27 with 3:58 to go before halftime. And remember, Sides, a couple years ago, this South Carolina State team had their best finish since 2005 when they finished 19-15, 12-4 in conference play, lost in the championship game to Hampton and went on to the CIT tournament.
Right. They had 2 great guards, Eves and Stevens. And I think Stevens it's Eves is a grad assistant right now on the bench for the Bulldogs. And you look at the box sheets, Norfolk is only shooting 21% from the 3 for 14, whereas South Carolina State is 6 of 10. That's the difference in the ball game right now. The Norfolk State Spartans need to do a much better job of contesting the 3-point shot.
Now, this is the first free throw attempt that Norfolk State has had this evening.
Right.
And we were at 4 minutes. We played, what, 16 minutes already? And they're 0 for 2. Or 1 for 2, rather. 30-28. This is Rashawn Neal inside to Applewhite. Down the lane, the runner, good by Neal.
Nice give and go that time between Applewhite and Neal.
Pace is slowed up just a bit right now. That one is too hard. Just wouldn't fall for Mustadi Pitt. Harewood. Back out to Neal. You got a chance to talk to Coach Garvin before the game. What was he saying he thought he needed to do? They weren't really out of it when these 2 teams played at home.
Right. He said if they are making shots and can keep Norfolk State from making 3-point shots, he felt like they had a great chance to come away with the win.
Shot clock went all the way down to 2. Here's the boards cleared. Nick Thomas goes all the way, and he has fouled as he goes up. It looks like Rashawn Neal is going to pick up the foul.
Nick Thomas is grabbing his jersey. I think he might have twisted his ankle a little bit. He's limping. He's asked to come out, but he has 2 free throws. So I think Muscati Pitt will come back in to replace him. Or no, not Muscati, but Joe Bryant.
In the meantime, Pitt at the free throw line. Correction, Nick Thomas at the free throw line, an 81% free throw shooter. He is 2 of 3 at the stripe tonight. Missed the last time he was there. This is only the 3rd free throw attempted by Norfolk State. On the other side, South Carolina State 6 of 6 at the line. 2:42 remaining. First half. And he misses the second.
This is the second time he's been to the line, and only 50%, 2 for 4.
Ten-second violation. Chavis is happy. Good defense is what he's saying. Keontae Chavis out of Chesapeake, Virginia. He'll inbound the ball for the Spartans. Hatchett will go to the sideline. Raina Powell checks back in for Coach Murray Garvin. His 7th year as the head coach in Orangeburg. .2:15 to go. Neal dishes off. And a foul is going to be whistled inside. This is going to go against Chris Ford. And that will send Kennard to the free throw line.
And he is 4 for 4 so far tonight. I like the defensive energy that the Bulldogs are playing with. They're contesting and rotating and putting 5 on the glass. Nice stroke, nice concentration that Kennard is exhibiting on his free throws. This would put the make here would put the Bulldogs up 5 points.
Which would be their biggest lead of the night. Second one rims out. It was there, but it just wouldn't hold. 4-point ball game right now. Pitt using the pick. Here's Chavis. 3. No, that's a 2.
Nice execution that time in that side ball screen offense. Spread the floor. Got a nice dribble pull up by Chavis.
When these two teams met earlier, Norfolk State won but trailed by 4 at the half. Scored a basket.
Chris Ford went after it, but it hit the backboard first, so automatically, if it hits the backboard first, it's a goaltend.
4-point lead for South Carolina State. A little subtle pressure in the backcourt by Neal for South Carolina State. Going all the way. Chavis whips it over to the right side. Nick Thomas had a little problem there getting rid of the ball, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he might have gotten called for a 5-second.
Shot clock violation. Timeout. Norfolk State. Coach Robert Jones wants to talk things over with under a minute to go before halftime, 52 seconds to be exact. So it's been fast and furious. Last time this South Carolina State team won a tournament, you were coaching there, side 2003. And last time they were regular season champions, they were actually co-champions with Fang Mitchell in the Coppin State Eagles, and that was in 2004.
Yeah, I left to go to Tennessee State. My associate head coach, Ben Betts, took that team that was a young team and won the regular season. I think he got upset in the tournament, but Ben did a great job while he was the head coach at South Carolina State. But this is a big possession right here. The Spartans are down 4. A three-pointer would put them down 7. A defensive stop, they could possibly cut it to 1.
Well, there's a lot of time left, and even if the Bulldogs score, Norfolk State will have a chance to come back down the floor. 42 seconds remaining before the break. Rainer Powell working the right side against Nick Thomas. Inside, and it falls for Neal. Rayshawn Neal makes it a 37-31 game, the biggest lead of the first half by this Bulldog squad. This is Joe Bryant Jr. with the ball in his hands. Freshman gives off to Nick Thomas down low. It's Chris Ford back to Thomas. Thomas's shot won't fall. 9 seconds on the game clock from the corner. The three, back of the iron. And there's a foul that's going to be whistled, and that's going against Chris Ford. And they will shoot 2 at the other end. And guess who's shooting? Ian Kennard, a man who's perfect at the. Is he 2?
5 or 6. Yeah, he
5
missed
or 6. He missed 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 5 or 6 at the line tonight.
And he's get 2, right? It's double bonus.
Double bonus. Yeah. He'll get 2.
Just what we talked about. It's a 6-point lead right now. They could possibly, with 4 seconds left, he makes them both. The Bulldogs go into halftime leading 39-31.
He had 12 points and 6 rebounds when these two teams met earlier this year. He had 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist.
This stroke really looks pure tonight.
Against Maryland Eastern Shore. He was 1 of 3 at the free throw line in that game last night, but he looks a whole lot more comfortable tonight,
no
doesn't
doubt.
he?
He's holding his follow through. Hitting nothing but the bottom of the net. A lot of focus right now with Mr. Ian Kennard.
8-point lead with 4 seconds to go. With those free throws.
And this is what happens, Charlie, in, it's good that you get the bye, but sometimes it's even better to play. And you get those first game jitters out of your system. And right now, South Carolina State is playing loose and free, but more importantly, they are making their three-point shots.
Making the three-point shots. But talk about the disadvantages of playing back-to-back nights.
Yeah, that is one. But right now, sometimes your adrenaline, now where it may cause them problems if they get all the way to the championship game, and then that 4th game, their legs may be gone. But only the 2nd game, the adrenaline is getting them through this game right now. You may see you're going to have to see it for Norfolk to come back and win this game. They're going to have to really step it up because SC State is not going away easy.
The winner of this contest will play in the semifinals at 6 p.m. Friday against the winner of the Bethune-Cookman Howard University squad. So we're at halftime at the Scope in Norfolk, as that buzzer beater would not fall for the Spartans, who trail by 8, 39-31. We'll be back with our halftime activities. We'll be talking to Norfolk State Athletic Director Marty Miller when we return. You're watching the MEAC Tournament on Flow Sports.
Future in you.
39-31 is our score here at the Scope in Norfolk. You're watching the MEAC 2019 basketball tournament, the first of a doubleheader tonight. And it's the Spartans of Norfolk State, the #1 seed, trailing at halftime by 8 to South Carolina State. I'm joined at the table here at halftime by Marty Miller, longtime athletic director at Norfolk State University. And Norfolk struggling a little bit here in the first half, Marty.
Yes, we are. We are not making those three-point shots tonight in the first half, so we have plenty of time to recover.
You got another 20 minutes to play. You had Nick Thomas and Jamerson. Those kids are going to have to get hot, aren't they?
I agree with you on that.
Well, let's talk about Norfolk State. New president coming in, hasn't taken over yet, but you got a chance to meet her a couple weeks ago, and let's talk about the transition and the new president.
Well, you know, this is going to be the beginning of a new era for us. She hasn't arrived yet on campus to start work, but we are looking forward to actually moving forward with Norfolk State University. It's an exciting time for our institution.
And she comes in from where, Ohio State?
Yes.
And so she spent some time there putting their program together. What do you think were the determining factors in the selection committee choosing her as the new president?
Well, Tyler, I'm not really sure because I was not on the committee. But I'm sure they were looking for someone who could move us forward to actually grow the university and to develop what we are able to become as an HBCU institution. And we're looking forward to becoming one of the great institutions in this country.
Well, you should know. You've been there, 50-some years? You've been around Norfolk State. You played there. You went to school there. You came back and coached there. And you became the athletic director there. And you made some great choices as athletic director. Coach Jones is one of the people that you hired there. He was the coach of the year in the MEAC this year. You have to feel proud of him.
Yes, I'm very proud of what he's accomplished. He was the assistant coach under Coach Anthony Evans. And I noticed that he had the ability to lead the team once the opportunity presented itself. And we've been very pleased with what he's accomplished so far.
Spring sports are coming around, baseball, softball, those type of sports. You were very instrumental in terms of baseball. Do you get the itch now? You were coach for a long time and won quite a few titles, 17 CIAA titles at the time. Norfolk State was in the CIAA. Do you get the itch when this time of year?
Well, not anymore. In the beginning, when I came off the field, I had it. But since I have been in this position, I don't miss it as much because I have too many other things to be concerned with and to try to accomplish.
One of the things that the school was able to do was build a baseball field. They named it the Marty Miller Field. How does that make you feel when that happened? Because most of the times when those things happen is after you're not on this earth anymore.
So true. It was a big surprise for me. I did not expect it. And when they indicated to me that they were going to name the field in my honor, it was a tremendous feeling, especially by the fact that I had been a student athlete there and coach. And just to actually have that experience is a great one. Words cannot always explain how I felt that day that they informed me.
When you look back as a student athlete at Norfolk State, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, imagine you'd be the athletic director going forward?
No, I didn't. In fact, I never had the desire to be an athletic director. It just happened, and one of the things I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to serve in this position because it can make a difference in the growth of an institution and the development of an athletics program. And we've been very fortunate to have had some great student athletes who have gone on and accomplished a number of outstanding tasks. So it's been a great relationship for me being at this institution. It's almost as if I had been living a dream.
I understand that. And talk about, since your position as an athletic director, some of the things you feel are your greatest accomplishments.
Well, one of the things that I'm very proud about is that I concentrated a lot on academics. I feel that student athletes must be prepared for the world of work once they leave our institutions. And one of the things that we want to do is make sure that they graduated and got their degrees. Currently, the student athletes have the highest graduation rate than the general student body population. And I'm very excited about that. And we are trying to continue to improve that trend. The other thing is that we have developed some outstanding students who've gone on into the world of work and have some great occupations. And they are making a difference in this country. So that's really what this is all about.
No question about it. Of course, he has some great student athletes, and one of the people that we got a chance to see over the weekend in track and field is the young lady from Ghana, Martha Bisa, who finished, seventh in the 800 meters, and the MEAC had a great showing at the NCAA tournament this year.
Well, she finished fifth in that race. Yeah. She had an outstanding race, and we're very proud of what Martha has accomplished. And I think that she's going to even do better in the year to come.
On the other side, the Hall of Fame being held tomorrow. One of your former student athletes, Kyle Quinn, now member of the Indiana Pacers, being inducted into the MEAC Hall of Fame. You retired his jersey earlier this year on campus. As far as Norfolk State is concerned, you have to feel proud about what he's been able to accomplish.
Oh, yes. Cal is a great asset for our program in a number of ways. And I'm so glad that the conference is recognizing him for his accomplishment, because he is really setting this institution apart when it comes to what a student athlete can do for his or her institution. And he comes back every year. He's contributing to the university. He's spreading goodwill about the university. And these are the kind of things you want from your former student athletes.
One of the things that I guess all HBCUs struggle at some point in time financially, and athletic alumni, or just alumni in general, support is something that's very much needed, isn't it?
Oh, very much so. Running an athletic program is very expensive. And we need to raise money and try to support our student athletes, because in order to compete on the Division I level, it takes a lot of money. And we want our students to have the greatest experience they can while they're in college and compete and represent our university. So we need for our alums to step up and support our institutions financially.
And the question you get all the time, how much longer for Marty Miller?
Well, although I have been at the institution a long time, it appears that the administration,
they won't let you go,
want to keep you around, but at some point I'm going to have to consider other options, because I've been doing this a long time, and I enjoy it, and I'm glad I've had the opportunity to do this. So it's something that I'm thinking about, and it has to be coming up down the road not too long from now.
Well, again, it's something you think about, but as long as you enjoy what you're doing and you can get up every day and your health is good, why not, right?
Yeah, some days it's okay, Tyler. But like this first half, it hasn't been too nice yet, so we have our moments.
All right. Marty Miller, Athletic Director at Norfolk State, spending time with us here at halftime of the MEAC tournament in Norfolk, Virginia. Back with the second half on Flow Sports in just a moment.
So we are MEAC.
Back here at the Scope in Norfolk, we're getting ready to start the second half. Charlie Neal along with Cy Alexander courtside as Norfolk State winds up on the downside of an 8-point halftime deficit right now. One of the things that Cy stands out in my mind as we look at the stat sheet is the fact that the bench from Norfolk State, one person, 4 points, and they've used 6 people off the bench, and one person had 4 points, and that was Davis. While on the other side, you had 16 points from South Carolina State's bench. They've been more productive.
Yeah, I tell you what, the depth of NC State has really come into play, and the big differential right now is one team is shooting 19% from the three-point line, and one team is shooting 55% from the three-point line. That's the big differential in the score being 39-31 favor of the South Carolina State Bulldogs.
3 of 16 for Norfolk State from 3. Nick Thomas 3 of 6. Jamerson 0 of 2. On the other side, 6 of 11 for South Carolina State. Harewood 3 of 4 from downtown today. He's shooting lights out, isn't he?
He and Etienne is 100%, 2 of 2. So again, I talked about in the early going that Etienne, Harewood, and Powell, if those 3 guys are making 3-point shots, South Carolina State's offense is a whole lot more potent.
Now, here's another interesting stat. South Carolina State has turned the ball over 7 times, but Norfolk State has only been able to capitalize and get 2 points.
Right.
So very interesting. Leading scorers in the game for South Carolina State, it'll be Harewood. He has 11 points, followed by Kennard with 7. Rashawn Neal with 6, Etienne with 8. And also on the other side, Nick Thomas leads the Spartans with 11 points, followed by Stoddy Pitt with 8 points.
And Norfolk State got in foul trouble early on.
Down the baseline. The lid was on the basket that time for Alex Long. He just couldn't get it to go. Long's sister, Alexis, a member of the women's team at Norfolk State.
Right.
Larry Vickers coaching them. He's a former assistant under Coach Robert Jones here. He took over the women's program a few years ago.
And what will happen is the longer SC State can control the lead, the tighter Norfolk State will get.
And that drops his little rainbow for Kennard, and he continues to impress.
Having a great game. Put the Bulldogs up 10.
And a chance to draw on that lead. Down the lane. And a foul is going to be whistled this time. Jordan Butler.
Nice ball fake that time by Ian Kennard. He's having a very steady ball game. So far, 8 points. Actually 7 points, 8 rebounds. Got a chance to take it up to 9. But he's shooting the ball extremely well from the free throw line. And I jinxed him.
Yeah. Always happens, right?
Yep, always. Bulldogs can take this up to an 11-point lead. No full court pressure by the Bulldogs.
Down the lane. And a foul is going to go against Kennard.
That was a nice dribble handoff that last time to get Mascotti picked to the line. He's shooting right at 76% from the free throw line.
Pitt at the free throw line, misses the front end, and again the struggles for Norfolk State continues at the stripe. This is a team that came in shooting 71% from the free throw line, and they were ranked 4th in the conference in free throw percentage. Makes them 1 of 2, and the lead is 10 once again.
And in conference games, the Spartans haven't been in this position a lot, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle being down by double digits in the second half of a really important game.
Down the lane. Nice block inside that time by Alex Long. Did not commit the foul. Clean block.
And now they've got to play defense, smart defense, for 10 seconds. Baseline out of bounds. Nice little up screen, cross screen.
And a foul is going to be whistled outside. That's going to go against Nick Thomas.
And just what I said, there's a lack of focus right now, and you're not quite sure whether they're losing their confidence or they're just not used to being in this position. Down 11 points right now, or 10 points, with 17:43 to go in the second half. You're going to see the character of the Norfolk State Spartan team having just won the regular season championship.
Applewhite at the free throw line for South Carolina State. His first point of the night.
And he's their leading scorer. Yeah. And they have a 10-point lead, and he hadn't scored.
He hadn't scored. Don't let him get started, huh?
Right. Look for pressure by the Bulldogs.
Applewhite had 10 points and 12 rebounds against Maryland Eastern Shore. Makes 1 of 2. And the lead is 11 once again. From the baseline, and that one is good. Big basket that time by Jamerson.
He's in the right place at the right time. Exactly. That's exactly what he does.
Travel. Pivot foot.
And now you may see the crowd begin to get into it to help this Norfolk State team mount a comeback if possible. They got to make a few shots, see if you can get the ball to Jamerson again, let him have a heat check.
Well, they're in Norfolk in front of the hometown crowd, not on their home campus court, but a lot of the Norfolk State Spartan faithful in attendance here tonight for the first of this two-game set for the MEAC tournament. Still first round action. Here again, and Jamerson, that one's off the back of the iron, and a foul is going to be whistled against Alex Long.
And that could be his third one. If it's on Long, yes, that's number 3. And that was a questionable shot that last time by Stephen Whitley.
So Alex Long may be coming out of the ball game.
He is.
And they're going to bring in, let's see,
Amani Branch.
Branch, a redshirt senior out of Hampton, Virginia. Did not score any points when these two teams met back on January 21st. That was a game in which the Spartans won 74-69 after trailing by 16 at the half. Well, 6 at the half. 38-32.
Horn set being utilized.
He traveled.
He walked that time.
No question. You got to put the ball on the floor, Mr. Applewhite.
He picked up his pivot foot. Then he picked up his other pivot foot.
He picked up all 3 feet. Didn't he?
Right.
Down the lane, the scoop shot doesn't fall. Battle for the loose ball. Spartans come up with it. Pitt looking for the screen, and here's the screen and roll. Down the lane goes Branch. Pitt 3, no good. Rebound by Harewood.
And right now, Norfolk State is trying to pray the shot in instead of just shooting it. Pitt just waited. And South Carolina State, on the other hand, they're just shooting right in nice rhythm.
Down low, Applewhite. Don't want to move the pivot foot that time, and he did. He did. Same thing.
Second call in a row for the Bulldogs on Applewhite, who's been called for walking.
Timeout on the floor. 15:43 to go. We're in the second half. 43-35. The visitors from South Carolina State, the number 9 seed, with the 8-point advantage over the number 1 seed here on Flow Sports.
As long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
15:43. That's the time remaining here in the second half. And it's an 11-point advantage for South Carolina State. Charlie Neal along with Cy Alexander. The lead has been as many as 11 here in the second half for the Spartans. Against the Spartans, for the Bulldogs, I should say. 43-32 was the last 11-point advantage. In fact, in this second half, there's only been 4 points put on the board by Norfolk State, but there's also only 4 points on the board by the South Carolina State team. 39-31 was the halftime score in favor of South Carolina State. Here's Whitley down the lane. Whitley puts it up. Won't fall for him. Gets his own rebound. Puts it back up, and he's fouled. And it'll be Rosante Fields picking up the foul.
And that's twice.
Correction, that's not Fields. It may have been Kennard.
But it's twice that Whitley has gotten to the rim and just a day late and a dollar short. It's probably a good foul because he's only shooting 58% from the free throw line.
Third team all conference. And that one goes in and out.
And I don't know if Norfolk has not made 2 in a row all night from the line. They haven't gone before. Well, it's 5 times now.
Had 12.5 rebounds when these two teams met back on January 21st, and he hits 1 of 2 free throws. 42-36. 15-15 to go. 43-36. Raina Powell back outside, down the lane goes Fields, and it's good.
Nice move by Zonte Fields. Kissed it off the glass using his strong hand. Nice dribble penetration.
9-point lead for the Bulldogs.
Now they're showing a little 2-3 zone.
Whitley down low, wide open, nice give and go. Count the basket, and Jamerson finishes it. And he'll go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play.
Nice give and go. Nice pass that time from Amani Bryant to a cutting Derek Jamerson. His first time to the line.
7 points on the night for Jamerson. Jamerson came in averaging 10.5 points per contest. And he's a 90% free throw shooter.
That's the kind of guy you like to have at the line.
Like you said, this is his first trip to the charity stripe today. And he makes it good. A 3-point play complete.
2-2-1. 3-quarter pressure. This is a containment type press. You want to trap at the free throw, at the half-court line areas. Let the half-court be the other defensive player. Big possession right here defensively for the Spartans, offensively for the Bulldogs.
They get it into the front court, and Applewhite has it, being double-teamed. And it's almost stolen, and it might be. And it's Pitt. No good. Battle for the loose ball. They come out with it, the Spartans. The 3-ball. That's good. Off the hands of Nick Thomas.
And now the crowd is coming back into it.
And an offensive foul.
Coach Garvin might want to take a timeout to settle. He's trying to call a 30. It's a good timeout by Murray Garvin. Big shot by Nick Thomas, but an even bigger steal by Muscati Pitt, and a kick out back to Nick. Knocked it down. Big moment. Now you hear the crowd coming, Charlie. That's the advantage of being right here in the Norfolk scope.
No question. We're going to take a timeout. Step aside. You're watching MEAC Tournament Basketball right here on Flow Sports. (45-42) 3-point ball game. An 8-point lead for South Carolina State at the half. 39-31 by as many as 11. The last time was 43-32, but since that time, a 10-2 run by the Spartan team to pull them to within 3, 45-42, with 14-13 remaining in the contest.
A big part of that run was the defensive effort and the 2-2-1 3-quarter court pressure that the Spartans were using.
Branch. Back to Pitt. Under 14 minutes to go. 10 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to call an offensive foul on Pitt.
Nice sliding that time as far as his body position by Janai Raina Powell. Great defensive effort on the ball. You get a charge, I get a charge.
No question. But that big 3 basket by Nick Thomas that helped pull them within this 3-point disadvantage right now.
And brought the crowd back into it.
It certainly did. Great crowd on hand in front of the hometown fans in Norfolk, Virginia. Zonte Fields in the lineup for Murray Garvin, along with Etienne Rainer Powell.
And the
Kennard.
Bulldogs are actually utilizing 4 guards. Well, yeah, 3 guards.
Well, Harewood has come into the lineup for South Carolina State, replacing Janai Rainer Powell. Almost taken away as Neal is also in there. He has the ball in his hands. Neal being guarded on the outside. Down the lane. Stolen away. Taken by Branch. Off to Thomas for 3. No good. Back of the iron. And a foul is going to be whistled. And this is going to go against Jamerson.
That's a loose ball hustle play. And
well, coach is not arguing the call,
but
he's just telling
Nick Thomas to take the ball to the basket.
Or Myrie Branch. He said, hey, that's what you should have done.
Right. It's a bad decision that time by Nick Thomas to take a deep 3 like Stephen Curry. Still a 3-point lead by the Spartans.
13:20 the time remaining. Neal into the hands of Etienne. Etienne now going down the lane against Pitt. Pulls up the jumper. Back of the iron, no good. Offensive rebound. The putback by Kennard.
Ian Kennard is having probably a career game. Really getting it done.
Now Kennard picks up the foul at the other end. He has 12 points in the ball game, but he picks up his 2nd personal foul, which will send Mustadi Pitt, the sophomore out of Hampton, to the free throw line. Pitt now with 9 points in the game, 1 of 2 at the stripe so far this evening.
And he's got 9 rebounds. He has really been the X factor tonight for the Bulldogs. He's made his free throws. He's been a terror on the glass, and he's got actually 12 points.
And he has 6 assists. Came in averaging 2.7 assists per contest.
He's having a heck of a game.
Neal gets the ball finally. Kennard was way out high. Double team. Down low trying to get it to Kennard. And they're going to whistle this foul against Branch.
And this will be a side out.
16 fouls against Norfolk State, 5 against South Carolina State.
1 more, and the Bulldogs to be at the free throw line.
1-1.
2 for Norfolk State. These last 10 minutes could be a barn burner the way this game is going. Who can make the 3-point shot, who can control the boards, and who can stay off the free throw line.
South Carolina State with 2 timeouts remaining. Comes into Fields, Azante Fields. Here's Rashawn Neal. 12.5 to go. Still a lot of time. A lot of basketball to be played here in the second half. The tip still won't go away. They had a couple of offensive opportunities, South Carolina State. Nice, easy layup for Branch. Amari Branch makes it a 1-point ball game.
He's come off the bench and given the Spartans some good minutes.
Well, you remember earlier we talked about the bench for Norfolk State.
Exactly.
Had not played that well in the first half.
Right. Kind of changed in the second half.
They certainly have. They've done a great job. And an offensive foul is going to be whistled against Rashawn Neal.
And they're calling the same call on each end. You know, the sliding, and you're still moving, but you're able to get your torso in between his shoulder, and they're calling that a charge. they're being consistent as far as the officiating is concerned on that charge block call.
Timeout on the field, 11:47. That's the time remaining here at the Scope in Norfolk. It's MEAC basketball, and it's tournament time as we march into madness right here on Flow Sports.
Every possession counts.
Because games end, but life keeps on going. The MEAC, educating student athletes for the game of life.
Got a chance to talk about some of the former great players on both of these squads. One of them, you're talking about for South Carolina State guys you coach. We got Travis Williams and Rod Blakeney and Waitree and Dustin Braddock. On the other side for the Spartans of Norfolk State, they've had some great names. We talked about Kyle O'Quinn going in the Hall of Fame and Bobby Dandridge and some of those players there, and some of the great coaches that they had like Mike Bernard and Will Jones and Dwight Freeman and Charlie Christian.
Saw Bobby D here last year at the tournament.
Michael DeLoach, Corey Lyons, some of the former players that stood out here. Damian Woolfolk, Jeff Short, and that one just wouldn't fall that time.
That was a nice X cut off the center. Got it to Nick Thomas. Nice ball fake. Drew the foul. And he has a chance right now to potentially put the Spartans ahead. He is an 82% free throw shooter.
And he's 4 of 8 from three-point range today, but 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
Nice follow through that time. Got his knees bent. This is the big one right here to potentially put the Spartans ahead.
It's all tied at 47. And he does.
Horns action by the Bulldogs. He dropped down into a 1-4 set.
Stays on the South Carolina State end, and we get substitutions coming in. South Carolina State will bring Rainer Powell back into the lineup, and he'll replace Asante Fields, a junior out of Denmark, South Carolina.
At some point, I'm sure you're going to see Demani Applewhite
come back in the lineup. Etienne wide open. He'll take the left-handed three. It's off the back of the iron. No good. And the offensive rebound by Kennard. The crowd wanted to...
Over the back.
Yeah, but he wasn't over anybody's back. Neal down the lane for 2. Lays it in and 1.
Nice drive that time. Strong finish at the basket. Rayshawn Neal. And he got fouled. A chance to get a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists in their first-round action against Maryland Eastern Shore, averaging 6.8 points per game.
And here's Demani Applewhite back into the game.
When they played earlier this year at Orangeburg, Neal had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. And right now he's at the free throw line trying to complete the three-point play for South Carolina State. He has 8 points in the game. Rims out. 49-48.
X action again.
Nick Thomas, and he is fouled by Harewood.
They ran the exact same play and got the exact same outcome, a foul with Nick Thomas. SC State has got to talk about that among the coaching staff, how they want to defend that. They might want to switch that off the top. The 2 cutters are cutting right off the high post. Look for some full court pressure as the Bulldogs are bringing Janai Rainer Powell back in for one of the guards.
6 of the last 7 points have been scored by Nick Thomas, making 7 of their last 8.
Coming in for Harwood.
Or 9, I should say.
They want another ball handler in the game with 2 point guards in the game with Rashawn Neal and Rainer Powell.
Etienne, double team, pulls up. Neal, 10.5 to go in the contest. Rainer Powell in the corner. Shot clock at 7. Etienne trying to create some space, and does, and gets fouled on a three-point attempt. Jamerson fouled him. Etienne got him up in the air and did what he needs to do as a smart shooter, right?
And that's now 2 fouls, excuse me, on Derek Jamerson. Nice body extension that time by Etienne to create the three-point free throw opportunity.
The left-handed shooter makes the first one.
It was pure.
The winner goes on to play Friday night at 6 o'clock here at the Scope against the winner of tomorrow's game between Bethune-Cookman and Howard University. Etienne perfect at the line so far today.
Got a chance to put the Bulldogs up 2 points. He can complete the free throw line trifecta.
Missed the third one. Neal out defending Jamerson. Correction, Whitley. 10 seconds.
We got Butler.
Is that what he called a foul?
Yeah, he called a foul. A moving screen.
Moving screen.
On Jordan Butler. You got to be stationary. And Butler's upset that he's coming out of the ball game.
Well, that's his 4th foul.
Yeah.
That's why
he's got to come out. That's a smart coaching move. There's no other option for Coach Jones.
Well, here come the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. That's under 10 minutes to go in the second half here at the Scope in Norfolk. Nice pass off. And a foul is going to be whistled as Applewhite got the nice feed inside from Rainer Powell.
Definitely, that was a nice read. And I tell you who does that really well in this league, and that's Cameron Langley. He anticipates what the defensive player is going to do, and Rainer Powell did the exact same thing. As soon as the defense stepped up, he just dropped it off to Damani Applewhite,
who's 1 for 2 at the line so far tonight, has only 1 point the whole ball game. This is the team's leading scorer, averaging 17 points a game, and he just picked up his 2nd point of the night. And he's not been in foul trouble.
Right, and the Bulldogs are leading. That's the big thing. You would think that with him not having a great offensive night that they would not be in it, but again, give credit to their perimeter game. Those guys have really shot the ball real well. They are still shooting 55% from the three-point line.
He hasn't even picked up a personal foul tonight, Applewhite. And the second one rattles in.
He gets a good bounce.
Whitley. Whitley thought about it, goes down the lane, layup, good.
Nice read that time. He waited till the waters parted and attacked the rim.
They certainly did. Etienne. Down low. Applewhite dishes it back out. The shot. Etienne. And he'll go to the line.
Bulldogs has shown a lot of poise and patience within their half-court set, getting the shots that they want and creating opportunities to get to the free throw line. who can handle tournament pressure as you get down the stretch. The Bulldogs have already pulled out one nail-biter last night. Got a chance to do it again to move them to the semifinals on Friday.
That foul was on Whitley. That is his fourth. So 2 players on this Norfolk State squad sitting on the bench with 4 fouls, Whitley and Butler.
And that's huge. And we were talking earlier, Charlie, and it really got past me, but they really wouldn't have to play 4 nights in a row because they get tomorrow off.
Oh, no, yeah, that's true. Yeah. They don't play again until Friday. So they only have to play 3 games.
Right.
2 to get to the championship, and both free throws made by Etienne. 55-52 is our score. And we have 9:09 to go. This is a Spartan team that lost only 2 games all season long. And that ball falls for Nick Thomas.
Nice curl action off the handoff that time by Nick Thomas.
And those 2 conference losses were by a total of 9 points. They lost by 6 to Bethune-Cookman. And they lost by 3 at home to Howard. That loss to Bethune-Cookman was in Daytona Beach.
A buzzer beater against Howard. By R.J. Cole.
4 seconds. Etienne 3. Back of the iron. And we got a foul. And it's going to be against Applewhite. Chavis took a heck of a fall down there. Applewhite wiped him out.
Are we into 1-1? I think we are.
Yeah, he just threw him.
He was throwing down.
Not only did he wipe him out. So Applewhite stays in the ball game.
We got Chavis, who has not been. We got a timeout here. Officials are taking a look at who the foul was on.
Kennard. Well, they know who the foul was on. They're trying to see if it was flagrant.
Okay.
We know who it was on. It was Applewhite. There was no question. But I think they want to see if it's a flagrant foul because he kind of slung him down.
So if it's flagrant, 2 free throws and the ball.
Right.
That would be huge.
Especially now with 8:25 to go and a 3-point ball game.
Every possession now is critical. Both teams in the 1-1. Who can make their free throws? South Carolina State leads the conference in free throw percentage, shooting right at 74% from the foul line. And they've gotten great shooting tonight from their 3 perimeters. Raina Powell, LeVar Harwood, and Etienne.
One of the things when you talk about non-conference schedule for this Norfolk State squad, one of the teams they had on their non-conference schedule is an old nemesis, Hampton University. They played them at the Scope, not at the Scope, but I should say at Eccles Hall on the campus of Norfolk State, and it was a double overtime win by Norfolk State, 94-89. They have a home-and-home series they're going to go to every year. Of course, Hampton, a former member of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, who's now over in the Big South, lost in their tournament on the men's side. The women are still alive, from what I understand, and they'll be playing for a right to go to the tournament, the NCAA tournament.
I tell you what, I know that was a nail-biter, talking about a double overtime game, and Norfolk ends up winning that game. So they've been in some nail-biters. They lost one the end of the season to Howard. R.J. Cole hit a deep 3 with no time left on the clock. And they're talking to one of my former assistants, Jamal Brown, who is an assistant now with Norfolk. He said he thought that loss would refocus them because they were getting a little bit unfocused because they had won 7-8 in a row. And but right now it's about mental and physical toughness. Who can walk to the free throw line and make a free throw? Who can block out and get a tough rebound? Who can be still on a screen? And who can catch ball strong versus pressure? Those are the things right now that are going to get you to the court, to the semifinals on Friday.
They lost 6 straight before that loss to Howard University. Once, I should say, 6 straight before they lost it on last Thursday to Howard University here in Norfolk, Virginia, down at on campus at Eccles Hall. You know, they had an overtime win this year, and that was against North Carolina Central. That was a 4-point victory against the Eagles of North Carolina Central, and that was also in Norfolk.
Nice form that time by Chavis. First time at the line, 1 for 1.
Keonze Chavis. Second shot is good. Makes them both. And we have
2-2-1 pressure by the Spartans. 2-3 zone.
Nice inside move. Applewhite gets the basket to go. That's his first field goal, I believe, tonight.
Nick Thomas forgot to rotate over. He pointed to his jersey and said, "My fault." We don't need my faults now.
No, you don't. That is Applewhite's first field goal, 1 of 4 for the leading scorer on this South Carolina State team. .744 the time remaining here with a 1-point ball game, 57-56. Back with more from the Scope. MEAC basketball on Flow Sports in just a moment. Along with Alexander, Charlie Neal, 7:44 left here in the second half of this game between Norfolk State and South Carolina State. The number 1 seed, Norfolk State, going against the number 9 seed, and the number 9 seed have given the number 1 seed all they can handle.
All they handle right now. And I tell you what, this is the way you want tournament play to be, because it's for all the marbles. These young men are laying it all on the line, both teams.
South Carolina State loses at home. The only time these two teams met during the regular season. Of course, 12 teams in the conference. We're losing one with Savannah State moving out after this academic year, going back to Division II in the SIAC. One team not here represented, that's Florida A&M on the men's side, because they've had some academic issues.
Right now, both teams, and again, it's going to come down to who can make clutch free throws. Both teams are in the double bonus. Alex Long at the free throw line right now for the Spartans of Norfolk State. He hits the front end of 2. He has 5 points, and this is his first free throw of the evening. Alex Long is only a 55% free throw shooter, but he looked pretty good on that one. Makes them both. And the Spartans lead it by 1. 2-2-1 again. This press has actually caused the Bulldogs a few problems.
Rainer Powell gets it over to Neal, and they get it into the front court. 7:35 to go.
2-3 zone.
Neal looking down low for Kennard. Neal backs it out. Shot clock at 5 seconds now. Powell, baseline jumper, doesn't fall. Battle for the loose ball, and somehow the Spartans come out with it. Now Mustadi Pitt slows things down. Sophomore out of Hampton, point guard that averages 2.7 assists. The contest coming in, drives down the lane, puts it up over Neal, and it's good.
Nice run at that time by Pitt. 2-2-1, back to a 2-3 for the Spartans.
Etienne swinging it. Rainer Powell, no good. And the Spartans, it'll be a foul.
Yeah, you saw Derek Jameson give just a little bit of nudge, just enough for the official to see it on Damani Applewhite.
And Applewhite will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. 10 team fouls against both of these squads. Everybody's shooting the double bonus the rest of the way. 6:21 the time remaining. Applewhite, like I said, has been quiet tonight. Only 5 points. Four for 5 at the free throw line for the 6'8" junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Started all 32 games for Coach Murray Garvin this year. Averaged 17 points per contest. Second team all-conference selection. And ranked 6th in minutes played. He averaged 34 minutes a game. Makes them both.
Big free throws by Applewhite. Now the Bulldogs are showing some pressure.
1 point ball game with the 2 free throws made by Damani Applewhite, and it's a 60-59 Spartan lead. The winner goes on to meet the winner. There's blocked inside by Kennard, and they call it travel. Thought it was a little late on the whistle, but
that hit too.
But
it might have been the right call.
The right call,
but the play had gone about 2 other steps
before he
called it.
What I was going to say, the winner is going to play on Friday in the semifinals against tomorrow's winner between Bethune-Cookman and Howard University. Meanwhile, Rashawn Neal goes to the sideline right now.
2-3 zone again.
Harewood in the lineup for Murray Garvin. Harewood with the ball. Etienne out high. Rainer Powell. Down the lane. Harewood. Etienne hits it. And it goes off the back of the iron. 5:35 to go. Down the lane goes Whitley. Back outside to Thomas. Good.
2-point shot. 2-point shot.
But it's good.
Yes, it's good. 2-3 zone.
3-point ball game right now. Norfolk State on top. 5:10 to go. Of course, the crowd hoping Norfolk State can make it to Friday's semifinal. And there's Applewhite finally getting inside and doing what he does best.
And that's who you want to go to at this point in time. Your all-conference player who is shooting close to 60% from the field.
And a foul is going to be whistled against Harewood.
That was a nice curl that time by Nick Thomas. He drew the foul. Gets a chance to go to the line. Right now he's 6 for 8. Missed too early and has been money in the second half.
Thomas with 22 points, quiet points,
right,
in this ball game. You don't realize that he has 22 points.
These are big free throws right here to keep the Bulldogs at least one possession down.
And he makes a couple.
And in the second half, Charlie, the Spartans are 14 of 16 from the free throw line.
But they score at the other end.
Tell you what, that's his home right there, Damani Applewhite. He's pretty potent in that mid-range jump shot area.
Finally coming to life. 9 points for Applewhite. 5 of them coming at the free throw line.
And now you got another call against Etienne on Nick Thomas. He's got to keep his poise right now.
Yeah, he's getting ready to get a technical. He's walking behind the referee who made the call, Harold Harris. He's still pleading his case.
Can Nick Thomas keep his free throw streak going, as Coach Garvin is telling him to calm down?
Yeah, we can't afford to have technicals at this particular time. Nick Thomas with 24 points. He had 11 at the half.
And Norfolk State is doing an excellent job from the free throw line in the second half. Only missed 2. 15 out of 17.
Better performance in the second half. Missed his second one. And this foul is going to be whistled against Jordan Butler.
And that's 5. Yes, it is.
So he fouls out for the 4th time this year. Jordan Butler for Norfolk State. And he goes out with only 2 points.
And you got Mr. Kennard, who was 8 of 10 in the first half, getting a chance to shoot 2.
He's going down talking to the South Carolina State bench, shaking his head.
Big free throws for Ian Kennard. Could tie this ball game up. You will get the under 4-minute timeout in 6 seconds.
Well, Butler is a senior, and he's hoping this is not his last game. He had been pretty solid at the free throw line tonight. That is Ian Kennard. Prior to that one, eight of 10, 9 of 11 at the stripe. (65-64). Along with Cy Alexander, Charlie Neal here, courtside at the Scope in Norfolk. MEAC basketball tournament time at Norfolk State, holding on to a 1-point advantage over the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Norfolk State came in as the #1 seed in this tournament, having the best record in the conference this year. They were 14-2. South Carolina State, the #9 seed. They were 5-11 and advanced to today's action after beating the University of Maryland Eastern Shore yesterday 63-54. Meanwhile, at the free throw line, Steve Whitley for the Spartans of Norfolk State. And this is his 3rd free throw attempt for the night. He is one of 3. He has 3 points, and Whitley came in as a 56% free throw shooter, but at least hit the rim.
That was a good foul because he's due to make this one.
And that one rims out. So it's still a 1-point game and an opportunity now with under 4 minutes to go for the Spartans of Norfolk State to see if they can hold on defensively. Meanwhile, Applewhite trying to give his team the lead. Driving down against Long. A lot of contact and no foul. There goes out the one at the other end. And that's what Murray Garvin is kind of upset about.
That looked like that might have been some contact.
Kind of might have been, huh?
I'm being nice to the officials. And we got Muscati Pitt at the line right now, and he is 3 for 4. Big free throws as the 2 that Stephen Whitley missed. Can he make up for him?
Well, we'll see.
No
Muscati
doubt.
Pitt, 3 of 4 at the line so far today. Pitt is a 75% free throw shooter. He has 13 points. One of 2 players for Norfolk State in double figures tonight. That one goes in. He has 14 points now, go along with Nick Thomas's 24. 4 players actually for South Carolina State in double figures. Harewood with 11, Kennard with 12, Applewhite 11, and Etienne with 12. So it's been spread out pretty good for the.
It's been a really good ball game. Both teams have had their moments where they looked very well, and I think both teams have given maximum effort on the defensive end and shot the ball extremely well.
3:32 is the time remaining. 67-64. Norfolk State up. Rainer Powell, Etienne down low. Applewhite turns baseline. Touched on the rim.
They missed an offensive goaltender that time.
And Coach Jones really is upset over there about that. 1-point ball game, 67-66. Harewood. Neal on the defensive side. Pitt pulls up too hard. But the follow-up by Whitley is good.
Strong offensive board by Stephen Whitley. Made up for the opportunity at the free throw line a couple minutes ago. Right now, that Robert Jones is really upset on the missed offensive goaltending. It was definitely offensive goaltending. They missed it.
And Jamal Brown is over arguing about the fact with the official. Jamal Brown letting him know Keith Bennett he's talking to.
And right now, Coach Brown needs to relax because that's not going to change the call. What both teams need to do is focus on what's next play. Next play is defend for the Spartans. Next play for the Bulldogs is try to get the ball to Applewhite.
Coach Robert Jones getting an explanation from Harold Harris, crew chief in this particular contest. Still a 3-point ball game with 2:42 to go. Here's Rashawn Neal bringing it up the floor for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. Won only 7 games all season long compared to 19 for the Spartans.
That pass was a little bit too tight that time from Powell to Rashawn Neal. You can't move, got to be stationary on the inbounds. Big defensive sequence right now for the Bulldogs, and even bigger one for Norfolk State on the offensive end.
Kennard comes in for defensive purposes, replaces Rainer Powell. A little bit more size with Kennard at 6'8".
Right.
Long working against Applewhite. Back over to Thomas. Thomas against Etienne, and Etienne draws the foul, and Thomas is going to the line for 2.
And that's who you want at the line. An 80% free throw shooter. Nice dribble handoff. Both teams right now, as a coach, want to talk about poise and patience.
That's only the first personal foul against Etienne all evening.
But the Spartans got who they want at the free throw line. Nick Thomas leading both teams and scoring with 25 points.
Now one board has Etienne with 2 personal fouls. Our computer here shows he has none. So either way, Thomas is at the free throw line.
That's the bottom line.
And he makes them both.
He's money.
5-point lead for Norfolk State. Their biggest lead of the game. They trailed by as many as 11 here in the second half. They were down 8 at halftime. 2:13 the time remaining. Winner plays on Friday in the semifinal against the Bethune-Cookman Howard University winner. Those 2 teams will play tomorrow. There's Rainer Powell, and he's fouled.
And right now, both teams are utilizing the strategy of dribble drive, attack the basket, make the officials make the call.
And that's the 3rd foul on Pitt.
Which is great strategy. because the officials are calling it really close right now. And South Carolina State has been one of the leaders, has been the leader from the free throw line, shooting as a team over 70%. Raina Powell.
Perfect at the line.
Exactly,
yeah.
Perfect.
Makes them both. 3-point game. Still time. 2 minutes exactly remaining in the contest. Whitley, Pitt, Nick Thomas. 3 ball, no good. Tried to knock it out of bounds. That was Whitley. And 1. No foul, but Raina Powell makes it a 1-point ball game, 71-70.
2-3 zone now being utilized by the Bulldogs.
Norfolk State's played a couple of overtime games this year. So has South Carolina State. Each coming away, one with a win, one with a loss. In and out, offensive board, put back Long.
Nice rebound that time by Alex Long. Right place at the right time on the miss by Nick Thomas.
Norfolk State with a 3-point lead with 1:11 to go. Alex Long, kind of quiet tonight, but a big basket that last time.
Big rebound, went up strong, utilized his offhand to make a tough shot around the basket.
He has 8 points in the ball game tonight.
And 5 rebounds, but that number 5 was the biggest one all night. It puts the Bulldogs in a position where they got Harwood, and you got ETN, and you got Raina Powell. 3 great 3-point shooters. Also, Ian Kennard can make that 3 also. So you got 4 potential 3-point shooters on the floor. Let's see what type of defense the Spartans will utilize.
Long only had 5 points when these two teams met earlier this year. He has 8 tonight. His average is 9 points a game. Let's see what Raina Powell can do with it. A minute left in the contest. And there's a 3-point ball game. Norfolk State, #1 seed. They've been in a dogfight all game long against this #9 seeded team down the lane. And the nice lay-in that time by Kennard.
Nice finish that time. A chance to tie the ball game with a free throw from Ian Kennard.
Kennard with 12 points on the night. 8 of 10 at the free throw line. Big free throw coming here.
He's had a big game, up to 15 points, 12 rebounds. Awesome second night for Ian Kennard. Bulldogs going to be in man-to-man on the miss or make.
And he makes and completes the 3-point play.
What a ball game. What a ball game.
.30 seconds. Thomas. Yes!
Shot that with no fear, Charlie.
Timeout, South Carolina State.
What a shot, what a set.
Nick Thomas with 30 points on the night.
He set the back screen for Long. And it's always a theory in basketball, Charlie, the guy that sets the screen will get the shot. He set a nice back screen. They both went to Alex Long, kicked it to Nick Thomas. He shot it.
And that is a season high for him tonight. He had 26 points in 2 games during the regular season, one coming against Maryland Eastern Shore, the other coming against Florida A&M. He has 30 tonight. When they played earlier this year, he came away with a 19-point performance, and more importantly, 30 on the board tonight, and it came at the most opportune time.
I tell you what, that's the biggest shot of his career so far.
76, 73, Long with 1970. He has scored their last 5 points. He had a field goal with 1:11 to go. Then he hits the 3. He had a 2-pointer with 1:11 to go. Then he hits the 3 here.
Now, if I'm the coach in the Norfolk State huddle, you're talking about contest up, hands high, because you got 3 shooters on the court right now. Rainer Powell, ATN, and Harwood. Look for one of those 3 guys to see if they can get off a 3-point shot. You got to contest without fouling.
Nick Thomas, 5 of 10 from behind the arc today. 15 of his points have come from 3-point range. He has 30. Inbounds coming to South Carolina State. Down the lane. Knocked away. And it's going to be... I don't think that's the right call.
Right. I think Harold missed that one. Good officiating. Good piece of officiating.
That should be South Carolina State's ball.
They're going to review it. They're going to review it.
I believe it was South Carolina State's ball.
I do. I agree with you wholeheartedly, but they're going to review it just to make sure. Oh, it looks like SD State's tipped it. We were told in the truck
that they will get it. So now, again, 12.6 seconds to go. You need 3 points. And that was going to be a layup. So what do you do in that situation? You have to foul right away.
Right, you have to foul right away. You go for the steal, go for the, see if you can get the 5-second count. That doesn't happen, you foul right away.
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining.
What a great quarterfinal game, first round game, actually first game for Norfolk State. Spartans give a lot of credit to the Bulldogs coming in here the 9th seed and battling the #1 seed to the buzzer to possibly pull this game out with the 3 and send it into overtime.
Keith Bennett, Harold Harris overlooking at the play on the monitor. I thought the last person to touch it was Mustadi Pitt. Was it inconclusive?
If it's inconclusive, you have to go with the call on the court. Right?
Well, there was one official. They're saying it is.
They reviewed it.
South Carolina State's ball.
That's why you have instant replay.
I should say it's Norfolk State's ball.
Yeah.
Not South Carolina State's ball. And it'll be Stephen Whitley to inbound with 12 seconds to go. Comes into Pitt. Pitt backing up, finally fouled by Rainer Powell with 9.8 seconds to go.
And Pitt
with 15 points.
And has been almost perfect from the free throw line.
5 of 6. Yep. He also has 7 assists and 2 steals. So he has had a pretty solid night. As has Long with 5 assists. 5 rebounds, rather. That might have sealed it. That's a 4-point play or 4-point lead.
Yeah, excuse me. Now you want to push the ball and get the first good shot that you can get if you're the Bulldogs.
And he
doesn't
makes
necessarily have to be a 3.
5-point lead. 9 seconds to go. The jumper. Etienne, no good. The follow. Bounced out. 1/10 of a second remaining.
Survive and advance. That's what it's all about. And that's what the Spartans were able to do.
And listen to the crowd here at the Scope.
Standing ovation
in Norfolk
for the Spartans.
They'll live to play another day.
Survive and advance. That's what tournament play is all about.
I think they want to look at the monitor to see how much time is left on the clock. It may be 2 or 3/10 of a second as opposed to 1/10 of a second. Either way, there's not much you can do.
And
you're
we
down
still
by
got
5.
another game to call.
And you're down by 5. Down by 5. Norfolk State will play the winner of Bethune-Cookman Howard University on Friday at 6 o'clock here at the Scope.
Give the Spartans a lot of credit. They went into halftime almost in a shell shock.
They were down 39-31. Right. Came out in the second half, were down by as many as 11.
Exactly. And they just continued to grind. They made some big shots.
Well, give it Nick Thomas. I think Nick Thomas is the man who brought him back here.
He's the player of the game.
In the second half.
Right.
I mean, he hit a big three-pointer. He hit some key free throws. And then he hit a long field goal with 1:11 to go. And then a three-pointer with 19 seconds to go.
And don't forget about that offensive rebound that Alex Long had.
Right.
That was huge because it was a miss and he went and got it.
0.8 of a second they put on the clock, as opposed to 1/10. Again, I want to see this 5-point play here. That's going to do it. The final score from the Scope in Norfolk, 78-73. The Spartans will move on to the semifinal round, where they'll take on the winner of tomorrow's game between Bethune-Cookman and Hampton. And don't forget, our next game coming up will be Coppin State and North Carolina A&T, as the MEAC tournament continues right here on Flow Sports. For Cy Alexander and all of us here in Norfolk, Charlie Neal saying so long until we come back with Coppin and North Carolina A&T, where the Spartans of Norfolk State come out on top 78-73 over South Carolina State.